Hi everyone. This has been 4 very frustrating weeks for me. I didn't have any energy to make videos, nothing really makes sense. I think now I can slowly get back to normal. This video is about coping with stressful and uncertain times. For me, these are the events in Ukraine, but it doesn't have to be that. 2 years ago, we all went into the pandemic, and that was something that we have never encountered before, and it was very stressful for everybody. It could also be something personal, like a loss of a job or a loved one. It could be moving countries or any other event that happens suddenly or unexpectedly and you don't know what to do. I'll share a bunch of strategies I've learned over past 4 weeks that I tried myself and I can recommend to you. And before we start, if you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. Tip number 1, stick to the routine. Routines were the first thing that fell out of place for me. I had a mess for some time. But it's very important to do your normal things that you usually do. Wake up in the morning, get dressed, make up your bed, brush your teeth. Put a makeup on if you usually do that. Make a breakfast. Do the regular things as the same things that you would do in a normal circumstance. It's important to say, keep your house clean, do some regular chores. It may make 0 sense to you because you're feeling upset, but what it does, it gives you the sense of control. You can control how clean your house is. The sense of control is something that we're missing in the very uncertain situation, and it's important to get it back, and sticking to your routines is exactly what gives you that sense of control. Also, for me, doing chores means that I will spend less time reading the news or contemplating about my own well-being. Tip number 2, sport. I know, I'm talking about it all the time. Everyone is talking about it all the time. But the thing is, it works. The most difficult part for me about sports is to start. It's very difficult to put your sports clothes on and start doing something, especially if it's like the end of the day and you're tired and you don't feel like it. But the secret is, and that's something that is very counterintuitive, sport gives you more energy. You think you're tired. That might be true, but in order to regain that energy, you actually have to start exercising. Every time I manage to get myself to exercise, afterwards I feel so good. Even if it's 15 to 20 minutes, it doesn't have to be long. Just start. Set yourself a timer for 10 to 20 minutes. If you don't feel like it afterwards, it's fine, you can stop. If I have a higher intensity exercises, I manage to use up my anxious energy, my stressful energy. It goes into sports. It doesn't go into my head. It doesn't go onto my loved ones. It goes into the physical exercise. So I feel better about my body. I have more energy. I get more endorphins. This is something that is already scientifically proved. Even though it's hard, super counterintuitive, please try to do that. This is probably one of the best things to get out of your head into your body. Another benefit of that, you get physically tired, and that, at least in my case, helps sleeping quite a lot. Number 3, speaking of sleeping and other basics. This is probably one of the things that I still struggle with, because if I had some stressful evening before, my sleep is messed up like that. I'm going to share some tips about how to improve that, but I'm also working on that myself. But first of all, sleeping is the key factor for me. Lack of sleep makes me feel like a zombie. I cannot function, I cannot think, I cannot do my job properly. Lack of sleep literally makes me sick. I get a headache, I get sniffles, it feels like I'm getting a cold because maybe my immune system is not working as much or as well as it should be. What I realized is working for me is not reading any news in the evening, not trying to get agitated before I go to bed. It's usually quite easy for me to fall asleep, but if I wake up, I can get really anxious. I have very uneasy dreams, nightmares sometimes. What helps me is to focus on my breathing. I breathe in on 1, 2, and breathe out on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 if I can, right? So making this last part, breathing out, as long as possible. That calms my body down. Other things to keep in mind when it comes to basics, it's of course, besides sleep, it's hydrating. Drink enough water. Water helps you feel better. Eat proper food, right? So I know that when you said it's probably easy to resort to some sweets or some junk food. It's okay to have 2 pieces of cake or a whole pizza, but maybe, I don't know, just chop some veggies, put some olive oil, salt. It will be good. Like, your body is going to be thankful. So my advice, do not forget your veggies. I'm going to be the grandmother here. And another thing, get outside, get some fresh air, have a walk. At best, of course, it's walking without any source of stimulation, no music, no podcasts, no nothing, no news, God forbid. Especially if it's a sunny weather, it's perfect to be outside, get some vitamin D. But if you cannot do that, if you still need your music or something, it's fine. Just get outside, get some fresh air. That will be enough. Tip number 4, keep close relationship with people. No matter what happens in your life, we all need our loved ones, our dear ones in our lives. Currently, this is something that I find important, and I also find quite difficult because, well, some people I know, they do not share my opinion. And I decided 2 things. I'm not going to convince anyone that I'm right and they're wrong, because nobody likes feeling wrong. It's just, people are going to be defensive. It's not going to work. Instead, I'm focusing on finding the common ground. What is it that unites us? What is it that we can agree on with each other? That will be the basis. And the second thing, I need people around. So I try to keep contact with my friends, spend more time with them, right? Meet up with them, help them if they need something. Stay together with the people who support you. That's important. And that's what I am trying to do as well. Tip number 5, stop feeling guilty about your problems. Let me explain what I mean. For instance, you can probably recall a situation when you came to a friend and you're sharing something that bothers you. And then this friend says, oh, well, but you know, children in Africa have nothing to eat. And then you can also think like, well, okay, my problems are probably not the worst, and what I have is not that important. And it might seem right. However, it doesn't make you feel any better. Devaluating your problems, thinking that they are not important, is not gonna solve it for you. You're not gonna magically stop thinking about what bothers you because some other people are even in the worst situations. My therapist is teaching me to be more compassionate towards me, to be my own best friend, to support myself in such situations. I know that my feelings are valid. If I feel like shit, I feel like shit. It doesn't matter if children in Africa don't have enough to eat. You know, say if we solve the hunger problem and children in Africa will have enough to eat, I will still have my worries and my anxiety. They will not go away. As the saying goes, you know, you put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you're helping others. And that's also something that helps me look at the situation differently. If I'm well, I will be able to earn more money that I can actually use for donations, and I will have more energy that I could use to volunteer and actually help someone. Tip number 6, get into therapy. I'm a big therapy advocate. If you cannot help yourself, ask someone to help you. Usually therapy costs money, but perhaps there is some mental health help that is included in your insurance. Maybe your employer has some arrangements. Perhaps there are some volunteers who could do this kind of help for free, at least maybe for a couple of sessions. Check it out. If you're able to afford this, I highly recommend that. It really gives a lot of clarity and a lot of peace of mind, and it just makes you a healthier, happier person. Number 7, help someone. It might be a controversial tip. It may not be applicable to every situation, but knowing that what you're doing is helping someone, that you're doing the right thing, makes you feel better, makes you much more hopeful, and also gets you out of your head because you're not thinking about your own issues. You're actually helping other people deal with what's happening in their life. I decided I want to be useful and not only donate money, but also donate my time. So I am volunteering now, and I find it important to help others because, well, I have some resource to share. And again, less time for reading the news. So do you know any other ways to help you go through some uncertain times? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.